Hello, guys, and welcome back to the GP Experience by IFF1. I'm Krishanu. I have, as usual, with me SJ and Mihir joining us. Hello, guys.
Hey, what's
So,
up, people?
so काफी chaotic race था. A very interesting race weekend. Big championship implications. Ti- Title change कर रहा है hands. The championship lead has been changing, and lots of things to be talked about. And so, beginning with USJ, how did you feel about this weekend as a whole?
It was a good race, worth staying awake in the night, is what I
Yeah,
can sum it up. It was a good, entertaining race, though at the last, both Behrman were and Leclerc were under attack by Piastri and Max Verstappen.
yes,
Good start by Norris, clean start, okay. Quite chaotic at turn one and a few laps after that, but then it got easy paced, okay. But towards the end,
yeah,
the action came up again, so that was nice. And some good hints from Ferrari about their performance.
yeah. The
But
Ferrari was really good this weekend,
yeah, let's see.
actually.
Norris taking the lead in the championship again, worth a while. Piastri is losing out somewhere, some slump in the form. I think I don't know what it
I
is.
think he's
Consistency or what.
going through that title battle psychological war, I must say.
I don't think so. That can be the case. I don't know. I mean, I am no psychologist to read his mind or
Uh,
something like
since
that.
since
But
Baku he has been on a back foot.
correct.
बाकू में जो उसका क्वालिफाइंग एंड रेस दोनों में क्रैश हुआ उसके बाद कहीं ना कहीं he has struggled almost in all weekends. He hasn't been the same जो
Maybe
पहले
maybe
shortest
Monza
season
में
के
जो
लिए.
उसको वो पास करने के लिए बोला ना नॉरिस को, I think that has
Hmm.
affected him somewhat.
Like
And
it does affect your psyche as a driver when you are performing at such high levels
hmm,
and then having such setbacks when you are fighting for the championship. I mean, basically these tracks also they have been his weaker tracks. If you see his short career so far in F1, these tracks he has consistently been poor at. So let's see, maybe something changes from Brazil.
but then he has उसको ये सुधारना पड़ेगा, right?
Yeah,
ऐसा you
exactly.
cannot win championship like this. Otherwise,
No, no,
you
no,
need to have such
exactly
a
no.
dominant car that you sum up the driver championship well before US or something like that. Where Lewis Hamilton did in 2015 or something like that.
No,
I don't
he
think
he did it
so. That can be
continuously since
possible.
2015.
Correct, but that is what my point is. वही मेरा point था.
Yeah. So yeah, you need to go. So coming to qualifying was an interesting session. Like
Yeah,
I would really like to focus on Lando Norris here for a moment because what a weekend he had, guys. Like uska weekend, it was consistently like here only. He was never down. The car was responsive for him and he attributed it to some setup changes which he made. But yeah, this is exactly the kind of weekend we want Norris to be having if he wants to win this title. And
Flawless
Oscar's
race.
downfall and Norris now taking the chances and eroding that championship gap, I think this season might be getting much more exciting.
Yes, and also Max is in the mix.
Yeah, Max just doesn't seem to go away.
Yep.
Coming to Ferrari, Ferrari was a nice surprise this weekend. Mihir, what do you think about Ferrari right now?
Um, Fundamentally speaking, I don't think they have resolved their issues. I think starting from this season, they have faced the issue of overheating their brakes, right? So
Yeah,
that issue was still persistent in Mexico as well. ठीक है, Leclerc almost lost the P2 for by Max. राइट अगर एक या दो लैप एक्स्ट्रा होते या अगर लास्ट वीएससी नहीं आती तो आई थिंक मैक्स वुड हैव इजीली टेकन P2 because Leclerc was lifting and coasting and so was Hamilton I think.
Yeah, they
And
both were being told to lift and coast at some
yeah,
points.
so every race is, it's the same story. या तो दोनों ड्राइवर्स या तो दोनों में से एक तो एटलीस्ट लिफ्ट एंड कोस्ट कर ही रहे होते हैं. So obviously they have not solved their fundamental issues with the car, but yeah, qualifying was a surprise, and
Yeah,
so was their race pace and on Sunday. तो अगर ये लिफ्ट एंड कोस्ट की बात करें तो when Charles was doing that, he was almost, yeah, like 2 seconds slower than Behrman on an average,
yeah, yeah.
which is like way more than uh, normal gap. मतलब 2 सेकंड पर लैप तो बहुत ही ज्यादा गैप हो गया. दैट टू कंपेयरिंग अ फरारी टू हास.
No, that
So
for sure is a ये. We'll
नहीं,
get to
उसमें भी
our
फरारी का ही
in-house.
इंजन है तो भूल गया.
हाँ, उसमें भी फरारी का इंजन है. इट इज अ
या
फरारी कस्टमर. वी मैं आपके ऊपर आ ही रहा था. वी आर आई एम कमिंग टू आवर इन हाउस फरारी एक्सपर्ट. व्हाट आर योर थॉट्स?
दोनों फरारी एक्सपर्ट है. दो आई एम वेरिंग ब्लैक.
या या
आई
टुडे
एम
यू आर
वेयरिंग ग्रीन.
वेरी फरारी एक्सपर्ट है बट नो रेड. एसजे योर थॉट्स?
I think past few race in the after the summer break, qualifying is what something it was hurting them, right? They were not good in
Exactly.
qualifying, right? They were qualifying seventh, eighth, ninth, tenth, something like that. I think after a long time they have qualified second and third, which gave them a very good chance to get in the lead. I think after Hungary first time.
Yeah.
But like Mihir mentioned, Lico is spoiling the race. But I think they have given up the chance of making any kind of progress for that brake overheating issue. They don't want to put any resources there, I think. And they
No, they
have
have already
Which is
shifted to.
fair.
correct. And makes sense also, yes. वो
Yeah.
सही भी है, correct. So what I feel is they have moved ahead of that LICO issue. They have, I think, come into agreement with the drivers, with mechanics, with everybody that okay, this issue is going to be there. Let's face it, let's take it, let's do the maximum what we can do and take it forward to next season. Let's see how we can improve it over there because that is a big change, right? Again, coming back to Ferrari, the rumors of replacing Fred should not be happening because they will take a step back.
Please don't do it,
Correct.
guys.
Yeah,
Please.
a new boss coming in will, you know, set his own team. फिर वो पूरा
The
डायनामिक
processes take time
प्रोसेस.
to
करेक्ट. So they have
take
to,
effect.
yeah, the Ferrari has to stick with Fred at least 4 to 5 years to yield good results. Overnight कोई
Exactly.
भी
Right.
टीम प्रिंसिपल आएगा तो रिजल्ट्स लेके नहीं आएगा. This Ferrari
Like
has to
exactly
understand.
what they did with Mattia, they have to replicate with Fred because Mattia Binotto almost abandoned the 2020 and 21 season. They just made incremental upgrades and then they focused all on 2022. Hence, they
2020
emerged
तो
so
भूल
yeah.
ही जाओ. 2020 they had a severe issue for the engine. जो
Yeah,
FIA की
exactly.
तरफ से उसको जो कॉम्प्रोमाइज हुआ था उसके रिगार्ड, ठीक है. 2021 okay, they were still here and there offbeat, agreed. But 2022, yes, you are correct. They have to
Exactly.
forget this. The same thing happened in 2016 also, if you
16
remember.
also.
16 also, just before the rule change, Ferrari did not win a single race in that particular season. मुझे लगता नहीं कि ये सीजन भी शायद और कोई भी जीतेंगे, ठीक है.
नहीं हो पाएगा.
Hopefully it turns out favorism for them because possibly history repeat itself like 17 Ferrari started
Ferrari
winning
tends
races.
to bounce back in these major regulation changes. That is what we are seeing since the past decade
Couple
or
of,
so.
yeah, let's hope for the best. Yeah, that's what my take is.
Yeah. So coming to the race, and now this is going to get chaotic because the race started. Norris had a very good getaway, and then all the chaos, it seemed like it was going on behind him because both the Ferraris had an even start. Max had a very good start on the mediums, and then what we saw was that typical race one incidents, which that the cars are going off track and gaining an advantage and all. So, how did you make of that start? What did you guys think? Let's start from there.
Mexico ka turn 1, 2, and 3, that whole chicken has, always been spicy. If I have to select a word, because हम हर साल देखते हैं वहां पे इंसिडेंट्स होते ही है, क्योंकि वो टर्न ही ऐसा है, एक तो इतना लंबा स्ट्रेच, कार्स आर कमिंग एट 330 340 प्लस स्पीड, and heavy braking zone, the
Exactly.
most prominent overtaking zone of the circuit. एंड उसके बाद वहां पे मतलब वो पूरा शिकेन ही इस तरह से डिजाइन है कि लेफ्ट साइड में ग्रास है एंड शिकेन राइट साइड पे है, तो वो इंसिडेंट होना बहुत ही एविडेंट है वहां पे, मतलब होंगे ही। और लैप 1 में तो बिल्कुल होंगे ही, मतलब इसमें इस वाली रेस में भी वी कैन सी दैट ऑलमोस्ट 4 कार्स आर कमिंग टू दैट
Almost,
कॉर्नर,
yeah, they were,
ऑलमोस्ट, या।
but four can never
तो
go into one corner, so somebody had to bail out.
यार 4
And
तो कहीं
yes,
हाँ,
पे भी नहीं
Max
करेक्ट।
जाता।
कहीं पे भी नहीं जाएगा,
वो तो कोई भी
कहीं
कॉर्नर
पे
में नहीं
भी
जाएगा,
नहीं।
दुनिया की किसी भी कॉर्नर में नहीं जाएगा। बट भाई, दिस टर्न 1 का सोल्यूशन एक ही है, रिमूव ग्रास, पुट ग्रेवल ओवर देयर,
Exactly. That
तो
should help the
पेनल्टी का इशू ही
situation.
नहीं आएगा।
That should help the situation much better, because what happened after lap one, that was even more confusing, because uh, as we all saw, Max and Lewis, they were fighting into turn one. Max took a big lunge and Lewis was turning in, and so they caused a collision. That was under investigation, and after that, when they were fighting on into the next sequence of turns, Lewis went off track, and then he failed to follow the race director's notes, which was being said in the FIA screen, that race screens. He failed to follow the race director's notes, and hence he got a 10-second penalty. I don't think that 10-second penalty was justified, because 5 सेकंड भी दे सकते थे, बिकॉज उन लोगों ने दूसरों दूसरों को भी दिया है 5 सेकंड टाइम पेनल्टी. साइंस गॉट 2 पेनल्टीज. 5 सेकंड टाइम पेनल्टीज वॉज वन ऑफ देम, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. So 10 second, I think it's a bit harsh, because that actually derailed his race. Your
नहीं,
take?
दो चीज थी उसमें, दो चीजें, एक तो उसमें मतलब आई रेड दैट आर्टिकल, जो प्रेस रिलीज एफआईए करता है पूरा
Hmm.
पेनल्टीज के लिए, तो वो मैंने हैमिल्टन वाला पढ़ा, तो दो चीजें, एक तो ही डिडंट मैनेज टू टेक द एग्जिट रूट विच ही वाज सपोज टू, ठीक है, एंड दूसरा है कि ही कट द कॉर्नर एंड गेन सम एडवांटेज, गेन सम लास्टिंग एडवांटेज,
Hmm.
तो उसमें
No, he
उन्होंने
had
एफआईए
gained an
ने ये,
advantage during
हाँ,
that incident.
यस राइट,
Yeah.
तो उसमें एफआईए ने यही मेंशन किया था कि दे आर ओके विथ लुइस नॉट टेकिंग द एग्जिट विच ही वाज सपोज टू, उसमें उनको इतना प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट द पेनल्टी वाज गिवन फॉर द लास्टिंग एडवांटेज दैट ही गेन by cutting the corner. But anyways, 10 second is very harsh in my opinion, because यार 10 सेकेंड तो मतलब उतना एडवांटेज तो उसने नहीं लिया था, ठीक है। और वी हैव सीन मेनी टाइम्स कि ड्राइवर्स को इससे कम में, मतलब अगर क्रैश भी होता है तो 5 सेकंड पेनल्टी में काफी बार छोड़ देते हैं, मतलब 5 सेकंड पेनल्टी मिलती है, तो ये तो इसके लिए 10 सेकंड तो इट इज डेफिनेटली टू हार्ड। एंड एज वी हैव seen throughout the year that FIA have been inconsistent with penalties, तो वो तो है। 10 second penalty is not justifiable at all anyhow.
Two things over here, my take.
Hmm.
Somewhat agree with Mihir and you, but I will not come whether 10 second is justified or not justified. Okay. I say now, if you see the sequence of what happened, okay, Max and Lewis were fighting for the position. Okay. Going into turn 1, Max made a huge lunge and kind of forced.
Exactly.
And if you see the race, they say that Max was little bit ahead of Lewis going into the
Ahead.
corner, which forced Lewis Hamilton out of the track. He came back, and then at turn 3, Max went off the corner. Okay, he cut the corner. He went through the grass. Then why people are saying is why Max was not given the penalty for cutting the corner over there. क्यों
Yeah,
नहीं
that
दिया,
was the question.
नहीं दिया, बाद में बात करेंगे या नहीं बात
Okay.
करेंगे. Okay. Then what happened? Because Max cut the corner, Russell and Behrman joined the party, and they were also challenging. And it was like three-way battle going into the fourth corner. Okay, turn 4. Again, what the video evidence and experts say that Max was ahead on this corner. Okay,
For sure.
Lewis locked his brakes, went straight ahead, took the exit, missed the exit route because he was he had a
He had
locked
locked
his
up and
tires.
he veered off track.
Yeah, so he missed the turn to take the proper exit. बट उसने फिर भी वो प्रोसेस थोड़ा बहुत फॉलो किया, इसके लिए
Follow
उसको
किया
उसके
था.
लिए पेनल्टी नहीं दी गई. ठीक है. बट व्हाट हैपेंड वाज at turn 5 Behrman overtook both Russell and Max.
Yeah.
Correct. Now people are saying, or the FIA or whomsoever it may be, they are saying that Lewis get an advantage. But what people are failing to understand was that Lewis was fighting Max.
Exactly. And
He
now
could not,
Behrman and Russell were
if
entering the picture.
yes, if for example Max was ahead and that position was Max, okay, but to give the Max that position back, he had
He
to
would
take
have to drop
Behrman
back 2
also
places.
away. Correct. Some people say that he should have backed away to give away that time advantage of 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds, whatever it may be. Okay, and let it forget it out. But what people are forgetting is that in turn 5, Max and Behrman were fighting, and
Yeah,
there was the process was even much more slowed. Okay,
for sure.
so it is lots of ifs and buts here and there, this and that.
Lots of variables
Yeah,
at play.
correct.
Hmm.
So, like you said, 10 second not justifiable, could have been done with 5 this thing. Okay, but जो हो गया सो हो गया, we cannot do anything. What I can only hope, like last time also I had said the same thing, there has to be, the penalties which are being given by the stewards are not supposed to be subjective. Okay?
Exactly.
कि इसने ये किया तो इसका ये सिचुएशन था, इसके लिए हुआ, इसके लिए वो पेनल्टी नहीं दी गई, और इसके लिए ये सिनेरियो था, ये हुआ, इसके लिए उसको वो पेनल्टी दी गई. आई नो इट मे साउंड वेरी वियर्ड एंड इट मे नॉट बी पॉसिबल. ओके, क्योंकि हर एक सिनेरियो यू हैव टू लुक एट डिफरेंटली, बट देयर हैज टू बी सम सेट ऑफ रूल्स which needs to be followed. Okay, and I hope FIA can take this into the consideration that there has to be a, you know uh,
Some sort of uniformity with the
correct in the
penalties being given.
correct in the decision making by the stewards, there has to be uniformity. Okay,
Yeah,
that is
because
something that they have to do. But I will
my
not
take,
comment कि उसका penalty सही था, गलत था, कम था, ज्यादा था. Let's not talk about it. That's done, dusted. But
we won't talk about it.
FIA has to bring a uniformity in the penalties.
Exactly, because my point was that a racing driver will not slow down for another melee going on behind him, because if he had to give up positions to Max, then he would have to get back to fighting Russell and Behrman, with whom he
But
wasn't
Max was
even
already
fighting.
behind Behrman now.
एग्जैक्टली माई पॉइंट दैट ही वो अपना रेस तो नहीं रोकेगा ना कि वो लोग पीछे ये कर रहे हैं तो मैं रुक जाता हूँ करके.
Correct.
रेसिंग ड्राइवर विल नेवर डू दैट. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई थिंक 10 seconds was harsh, but anyway, let's moving on. So coming to Behrman and Haas, this was a very good weekend for them. Like he's been the most consistently improving rookie of the 2025 season, I must say. And काफी अच्छा रेस किया उसने. Like he capitalized on the chaos during turn 1 and he made himself up some positions and he was very good at it. And Haas actually as a team also, they are performing very nicely. They are executing their race weekends well, and I think the team is in a good position right now. What are your guys' thoughts?
They are on P6 in constructor championship, so they are definitely doing well.
Yeah,
Behrman is definitely proving his worth. Okay, being a Ferrari prodigy, I think if Charles or Lewis, whoever decides to leave first, when there is a vacant seat, Ferrari should give him a chance to race for them.
Exactly, yeah. He deserves that.
Correct.
Flawless weekend again from Behrman. Like he was fighting with Max at times,
Yeah,
and very well. तो मतलब सबसे बड़ी चीज तो ये है कि तुम मैक्स के साथ विल टू विल बैटल कर रहे हो, दैट टू इन अ वेरी गुड पोजीशन. तो प्रॉप्स टू हिम फॉर दैट. एंड क्वालिफाइंग में तो उसने अच्छा किया ही, बट आई वाज स्केप्टिकल कि ये शायद रेस में सेम पेस कैरी ना कर पाए. प्रोबेबली रेस में ही विल ड्रॉप बैक सम पोजीशन, ऐसा हो सकता है. बट ही एब्सोल्युटली हैड सम वेरी गुड रेस पेस, and P4 finish is definitely a very good result for him and Haas. And अगर मतलब उसके टीममेट की बात की जाए तो he has completely stolen the limelight from Ocon. मतलब
yeah, for
Ocon
sure.
who is much more experienced in F1. तो अगर एक रुकी मतलब आपकी पूरी लाइमलाइट ले रहा है, एंड ही इज द kind of the main person for the weekend for the team. So that is a big
Exactly.
thing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Great. So I will just add into this. This was a double points finish for us. Quite after some time, they are somewhere in the middle position, you know. So they are definitely going on right track in terms of development and this thing. So I hope, whatever structure they have adopted in the last couple of seasons, they would continue to have so going into 2026 season where there are huge transformation of the rules come into the picture.
Yeah, the new team principal has
सर
surely
गुंजा
done his
स्टाइनर
job
के
there.
बाद गुंजा स्टाइनर के जाने के बाद डेवलप करने लगे.
No, no, Ao Komatsu is a very good leader and he's been making these incremental gains with the team. And he's showing the owner that by incremental gains also we can perform at a very high level. And I don't think that team has any lack of talent because the car is clearly performing very good. And so yeah, that P6, I think they are locked in for P6 and they're having a very good season after such a long time, as SJ said.
Correct.
So coming to the rest of the field, what do you guys think? How is this going to shape up? Because majorly during that lap one incident, Piastri was also there, and he also lost out on a couple of places. And I don't know what is happening, or does it happen with everybody? I don't know, but he is having that mid-season slump, I must say.
It is
What do
okay
you
to
guys?
have, say it is okay to have mid season slump. ठीक है, बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ होता
Yeah,
है. Even if you remember in 2009, Braun started very well in the season. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Then when the different teams, other teams started to catch up, they lost a little bit of it in a way. But they kept their momentum going on and on and on.
They
And
were
in P4
consistent.
yeah. तो वो होता है. That is okay. Fair enough. Piastri and after the end of lap one, he was P11, I think. P9 or P11, correct? And then he
Yeah,
had
P11.
to, yeah, and he had to overtake everybody again and to finish P5. Good job.
Good job.
That
Good
means
recovery.
they have
Solid
a
recovery.
very strong car and he has the will to get it succeed, but he is not able to translate it in the qualifying where he is missing out. That is what I feel.
Yeah, because that is only his stick right now. Like he's not able to perform as consistently as he was in the start of the season, which
He used
got him in the first place of the championship. And it's actually very strange to see the kind of contrast McLaren had in their weekends because the championship leader was slumping in the midfield. He was actually not able to get closer to cars faster than him. And then on the contrast, his teammate, who was in a slump of his own a few races ago, now he's cruising out in front. So that yes, that car has underlying pace and that car is fast as hell, fast as hell. But PS3 needs to be just that much consistent also. he doesn't need to win every race going forward, but he needs to be there fighting for the podium or fighting for the pole each and every weekend.
4 races
हाँ,
are
अगर
left.
इस रेस की भी बात करें तो अगर विदाउट द टर्न 1 या लैप 1 इंसिडेंट पोडियम पॉसिबल था
पॉसिबल था।
बेसिकली। हाँ, पोडियम तक तो हो जाता। बट एनी हाउ P5 इज, when your championship contender, your championship rival is finishing the race in P1, he is winning the race, then obviously P5 is not what you want. But anyhow, now that he has lost the championship lead, तो अब
या
हो सकता है कि अभी मतलब वो आएगा, कमबैक होगा।
जो भी हो, दिस सीजन इज गोइंग टू बी मच मोर एक्साइटिंग देन इट वाज इन द मिडल, एंड फिनिश तो
हाँ
काफी
हाँ,
धमाकेदार होने वाला है, सो
अगर
दैट
भाई
इज।
बीच में मतलब सीजन के बीच में अगर कोई बोलता कि बाय द एंड ऑफ सीजन वी वुड प्रोबेबली हैव अ 3-way फाइट फॉर चैंपियनशिप, तो एनी
मैक्स
वन
इज
ऑफ
जस्ट 35 36 पॉइंट्स बिहाइंड, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग।
हाँ
think less than that.
या ही इज जस्ट देयर अराउंड 30 और 35 पॉइंट्स के बीच में ही है कहीं तो भी।
Yeah,
ही
yeah,
इज जस्ट
something
ऑफ
like
बाय
that.
दैट
Yeah,
मच।
but less than
या
40. So he's cut down little bit of gap also from the last.
एग्जैक्टली।
But three-way
सो
title was not possible. Okay, because there was nobody who was touching McLaren at the start of the season till summer break. Okay, neither Ferrari nor Mercedes nor Red Bull. I don't know what Red Bull did, what magic they brought on. It's like they are going by the logo that Red Bull gives you wings, and they've given Max Verstappen.
Red Bull
Okay,
is-
true.
so they have put on the
Max is
gimbal.
actually flying.
Yeah,
What do they call them? T Max. T
T
Max.
Max. Now he has a new nickname, T Max.
T Max.
T Max.
So coming to Mercedes, guys, I found it interesting. George taking up that team leader role and trying to at least fight for the podium. What did you make out for that radio exchange where that happened between George and his engineer? Like they were reluctant to swap positions with him, and then George was commanding that, let me do it, let me at least try that.
It was his right to demand it. If he thinks he's faster, and if the data proves that, then team will make a call. Okay, but he didn't. He was not able to do it right at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Correct. He
No,
had to give the position back. I think he gave the position back, right? That's
he
what
gave the
my
position back.
yeah my
हाँ, वो
understanding
आई
is.
थिंक उसने पहले ही बोला था कि अगर मैं इफ
No,
आई
no,
एम नॉट एबल टू
he
कैच अप
swapped
टू
the
देम,
position. I'll be happy to swap if I can't do
हाँ, आई
that.
बी हैप्पी
But
टू
the
स्टॉप
leader
फ्रॉम
would
देम।
have been the good leader have been that if he would have defended that position from Piastri.
Piastri. Yeah.
Let me take you back in the history where in 2017, I think, yes,
Hmm.
2017 in Hungary, Ferrari Vettel had that broken steering wheel and he was not able to dominate the performance. Kimi Raikkonen was asked to hold the Mercedes behind him so that Vettel is
Exactly.
unchallenged, right? Similarly, George should have adopted this role. If he was a faster car, he should have asked Kimi Antonelli to push ahead, make sure that he is within 1 second of
Yeah.
Antonelli and keep getting the DRS so that he can defend the position directly from Piastri. But
पीएसए।
I, I don't know.
Basically,
This is how it should have been. This is how the team game should have been played. This is how Mercedes should have done it. But nevertheless, they eventually both of them lost out to Piastri.
they lost out to Piastri and to Max also because Max at the end of the
Yeah,
day ended up on the podium.
correct.
Yeah. So that was that, and overall a very chaotic race I must say because
Not say chaotic, it was entertaining, yeah.
it was entertaining, but बीच बीच में chaos ड्रामा चल ही रहा था, एंड
अब तू
बस
फिर
काफी।
बोलेगा कि हर चीज जो chaotic होती है वो entertaining होती है. That is bullshit, man.
ना ना, नॉट एवरीथिंग इज एंटरटेनमेंट, नॉट एवरीथिंग इज chaos, बट बस वो आखिरी में VSC ने थोड़ा सा खराब कर दिया मजा।
I don't know whether that because the record what the videos that are playing around, it showed that Sainz had drove himself during into the safe zone. Okay,
Hmm.
uh, but then still the VSC came out. Okay,
Hmm.
so I'm not sure whether the timing circulated. There was something. Acha, one more thing. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that video where that one marshal is running on the
Yeah,
on the
yeah, and
track, and
Ah,
racing bull just missed
yeah,
him.
Hajar, I think Hajar or
Hajar
somebody
or
was
Lawson.
there.
either
It
of
was
them,
Lawson.
but it was quite
Lawson
an
था वो. It was
interesting video. You know,
Was
हाँ.
he was
it was fun.
they were like, what is FI doing? I don't understand right now. They clearly need to have some processes rethinked and revised, and the race execution needs to be a bit more
Correct.
well timed and well communicated to the track.
So we need to understand why VSC was brought in, whether it was necessary, not necessary, but it saved Charles and Behrman's ass for sure.
Yeah, that. बिकॉज इफ अगर वीएससी नहीं होता तो शायद मैक्स और चार्ल्स के बीच में पी टू का फाइट होता एंड मैक्स प्रोबेबली वुड हैव
बचा ही
टेकन पी
गया
टू
था, हो ही गया था. आई थिंक मैक्स was
वही
only
है.
हाँ
1/2 of a second away and that VSC
हाँ
came.
हाँ.
he was already catching him with a rate of knots already he
Correct.
was faster enough
वो फास्ट ही था,
and
वो
Ferrari was
वही वाला
lifting
था.
and coasting
करेक्ट.
हाँ, Ferrari lift and coast कर रहा था. There was
पूरा
no
लिफ्ट एंड
way
कोस्ट मोड पे था
Charles could have defended that way. पॉसिबल ही नहीं था.
करेक्ट.
बीएससी तो मतलब उसके लिए एक ब्लेसिंग ही थी. P2
बेयरमैन के लिए
वरना
लेट्स
ब्लेसिंग ही
होप
हो गया वो, क्योंकि पियास्ट्री भी अच्छा खासा पुश कर रहा था.
this
हाँ.
Lico thing I hope that Ferrari doesn't bake this thing into the 2026 car like seriously काफी प्रॉब्लम दे दिया है इसने फरारी को काफी प्रॉब्लम दे दिया है हमारे इन
बट
हाउस फरारी एक्सपर्ट भी दुखी है उस वजह
हाँ,
से
ये तो है ही. आई मीन फरारी नॉट विनिंग, हम लोग भी है. करेक्ट. बट यू नो, समथिंग दैट आई वुड लाइक टू हाईलाइट इज नॉरिस.
या
He had a very perfect lap in qualifying. Okay. Remember going into Q3 after the first round of the time lapse in Q3,
या
Leclerc had the provisional pole. Okay. And
Yeah.
he beat him, Norris. Correct. So he had that perfect lap in qualifying and he drove a perfect race also. Okay. It looks like that guy has kind of had a psychic now, or he had the psychic, now it is gone. Okay,
hmm
and he is into his zone and he's focused on winning and performing well at all the races.
मिस्टर परफेक्ट
I will not say Mr. Perfect, but he is
no
doing
but
good.
this weekend was close to perfect for him pole led
I
every
would say
This
lap
weekend
almost
was close
perfect,
to
yeah.
perfect.
almost perfect because he took pole and Why, basically what you said is true. He just needs to be consistent. And I
Correct,
think consistency will only win this title to
correct.
whoever it wins. But जो भी जीतेगा हमारे लिए तो अच्छा है मजा है हमको अच्छा
अबू धाबी
सीजन
तक तो
देखने
हमके
मिलेगा
हमारे लिए मजा ही है.
हमारे लिए मजा है एंड
और हमारे ऑडियंस के
क्वालिफाई
वही
लिए
होते तो
मजा है, क्योंकि हमारे पास कंटेंट रहेगा बात करने के लिए.
हमारे पास कंटेंट रहेगा हमारे पास बात करने के लिए कुछ रहेगा तो हम आपके पास भी आ पाएंगे सो दैट वाज इट
नहीं
फॉर
नहीं,
टुडे
हम
गाइस आई
फिर भी
थिंक
आपके पास आएंगे.
हाँ फिर भी आएंगे वी विल कीप कमिंग बैक टू यू सो आई थिंक सब कुछ कवर कर लिया है हमने वी हैव कवर्ड एवरीथिंग
No, you have not covered one thing. You know, Mihir would like to agree with me or not, I don't know. So I'd like to
ओके
add a few point. The next race is in Brazil, correct?
हाँ
As per
रेन
the predictions,
अरे.
there are going to be rain.
रेन
Rain.
Oh.
So,
मैक्स एंड
T-Max.
ब्राजील
So,
टी
we need.
मैक्स
Can
एंड
we
ब्राजील
see? Can we
आई
again see
थिंक
the 2024 Max Brazil race?
तो
And that
जब भी
was
सुपर
that
बारिश,
was
मैक्स
जब भी
लोडिंग
बारिश होगी तो मैक्स को वही रूप में देखेगा. चाहे
same
वो
yeah.
सुपर
That
मैक्स
was
इज
like something
20,
सुपर
out of a
मैक्स इज
movie.
लोडिंग
राइट, 2016 का ब्राजील हो या 2024 का ब्राजील हो.
हाँ, definitely.
आई थिंक
Yes.
परफेक्ट वीकेंड और परफेक्शन काफी देखने मिलेगा ब्राजील विल बी अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग वन बिकॉज पर्सनली इट्स माय फेवरेट ट्रैक आई लव दैट ट्रैक It produces great racing. And
So
let's see.
the
I just hope
Back to
to
back
God.
two
Yeah.
sprint weekends hai in Brazil and
Yeah.
in Qatar
Qatar.
also.
Yeah.
Qatar, yeah,
So let's hope for the best. From the kind of a wet race, we'll go to a not back to back.
Dry
Sorry,
race.
उसके बाद वेगास भी है. So from Brazil,
Vegas
we'll
भी
go
है.
to Vegas, then to Qatar. Sorry, my bad. So okay, so that will also be an interesting race, Vegas, because of the straight and whatever it may be. Let's hope for the best. Let's see what we can get
तो
out of
चार
these
वीकेंड बचे हैं
remaining
ना
four
अभी,
races.
चार वीकेंड, चार रेसेस बची
चार
है बस।
रेसेस है अभी, यस.
4 बचे.
2 नवंबर में है और 2 दिसंबर में है शायद से.
ओके।
तो आई गेस विंटर सीजन बन गया हमारा, बिकॉज वी आर गोइंग टू बी गेटिंग गुड racing and a very exciting championship battle.
Yeah, let's hope for the best. I mean, it's very interesting to have.
So if you guys have nothing else to share, so I think यहाँ पे हमको खत्म करना चाहिए.
हमको तो खत्म नहीं करना है, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली रेस में इतने ही टॉकिंग पॉइंट्स थे.
या हमको तो और मजा आता है बात करने में, पर अगर और कुछ अगर करते रेस में तो हमको और मजा आता है बात करने में.
करेक्ट.
So that was it for today, guys. If you like this video, please like it, please share it, and please comment करके बताओ कि क्या अच्छा लगा and what do you guys expect for the next race weekend. Drop in your predictions, and we'll see you very soon for our next episode. Till then, goodbye.
बाय.